Hey everybody, I got a great question from Chris. He sent me an email and said, "How do you help your clients choose the right point of sale system?" And this is a big question right now in our industry as we move closer to technology. And I want to talk to you today about two different methods or two different models that you can use to help your clients choose the right point of sale system. So, what I find is in the industry today, agents and ISOs are both pretty evenly split at this point, where about half of the ISOs out there are actually starting to target specific verticals. So maybe you're only targeting, hair salons, nail salons, or something like that. Maybe you have two or three verticals that you specialize in. So, if that's the case, the way for you to help your clients choose the right point of sale system is for you to put a lot of work in up front, finding the right ISVs that you can integrate with so that you can actually have kind of a seat at the table and have a voice in decision-making processes because you're bringing distribution to that ISV. So I've talked about it a lot in other videos. I'm not going to belabor the point here, but I really believe it is powerful for you to develop these relationships with these software companies that have these niche, point of sale products for your particular vertical. So if you're going after a specific vertical, I think we could overplay this whole decision-making process a little bit more than it needs to be. In other words, this is something that can be done in advance, right? Like if you find a point of sale system that is just for hair salons and it's pretty well developed and you get a demo of it and you kind of look through it a little bit, odds are it's probably going to have all the features that your basic mom and pop hair salons are going to have a need for. Same thing with pizza shops, same thing with auto repair shops, etc. So if you're going after specific verticals, my recommendation is to take advantage of that leverage you have. Meaning, if you're selling 5, 6, 10, 15 auto repair shops a month, that's a lot of auto repair shops, and there's probably a software company out there. There's definitely a software company out there selling point of sale systems for auto repair shops that would love to partner with you and would love to give you a seat at the table to have a stake in decision-making processes, talk to them about new feature requests and stuff like that. And I think that's just a really powerful relationship. Now, for the rest of you that say, well, no, I do have maybe a few verticals I like, but I really target everybody. I'm just selling payment processing. Then I would really recommend, I think it's time for you to accept the trade-offs of some of these platform solutions. And when I talk about a platform solution, I'm talking about Point, I'm talking about Clover, I'm talking about Pax, I'm talking about others, right, that have these, these platform solutions. I would even throw Zuza into that mix, even though it's not really a platform, but if you if you go to getzuza.com, they have some interesting features and things there. So we could even throw that into the mix. But this idea of these POS systems that are designed not for a specific vertical, but they're really designed for many different verticals. And my advice would be to get one or at most two of those that you like, because there's a lot of crossover. I mean, honestly, there's just a lot of crossover there. I won't get into all the details, but pick one or maybe two of those. So for instance, maybe you would say, I'm going to use Clover and I'm going to use Zuza, right? Because Clover has maybe some additional functionality through its app marketplace. Zuza is going to be a lot cheaper, going to be more for your individual, store or multi-location that's smaller and doesn't need a lot of extra features, doesn't want to spend the extra money. So, and again, that's just a random, you could go to the Pax store. There's a lot of different options here, right? So choose one or two of these platforms. And now what you have to do is you have to really become an expert at the different apps and the different features that are available. So again, if you want to help your merchants choose the right point of sale system, please understand there's absolutely going to be a lot of work involved here, okay? I would even go so far as to say, if you believe, like I do, that the direction our industry is going is with this integration to technology, and that's where we're at now, I would recommend taking an hour a day. Use like your last hour of the day, which is usually the most unproductive, right? We all know this. 4 p.m. to 5 p.m., that's like the least productive time of the day, usually for most of us. Take that 4 to 5 p.m., go ahead and make the investment in a demo unit for whatever POS system platform you want to go with, and spend the last hour of the day playing around with it. Find a new app and download it. Reach out to the app developer and ask questions about what it does. Look at the features there. Wipe your demo unit clean and start over again. And this time say, all right, now I'm going to set up a hair salon. Now I'm going to set up an auto repair shop. Now I'm going to set up a pizza shop. and really try to understand it. Spend that hour of time reaching out to Clover support. Get to know the unit inside and out. Know exactly what it does, know what it can do, know what it can't do, and then accept the trade-offs. Like, come on, I get it. It's like, well, I would sell Point, but they do their own processing. Well, so what? I mean, really, so does Clover. So does everybody else at this point. I mean, I get it. It's not ideal, but you're trying to go after everybody. So the ideal scenario is I have one vertical, I have one software provider, we have a real partnership. But if you're not going after one specific vertical or two, I mean, you can't do it that way. So accept the trade-offs, right? Like, well, I would sell Clover, but it's locked into First Data. Okay, well then find an ISO that offers First Data. Like, then sell it. Like, you got to accept some trade-offs. You know what I mean? That's just the way it is. It's like, well, I would sell Zuza, but it doesn't have all the features I want. Okay, well then find two solutions. There's going to be trade-offs. Unless you're going really narrow and really like deep into this one vertical, there's going to be trade-offs with these solutions. There's good and there's bad. But I really believe that all of these platforms actually have a lot to offer. And I think that it's easy to get fixated on the things they don't do and like, well, I don't want to go all in on that because then I'm stuck with it. If you want to sell these solutions, you got to go all in on something. And so you got to pick one. You got to go all in on it. You got to make sure you really know what you're talking about if you want to be successful in this business.